dearly friends.
All right. So, do you remember what happened to poor Miss Beaglehole? She got slammed on the airport tarmac in her big blue chinchilla-looking coat, and she went in a restricted access as Sam the Lion's taken off, and she gets tackled. She only made it about 20 feet. And so when we left off, we were on chapter 5. I don't know if you're catching on, but there's little black icons of a dog on each section, and each one of those dogs, I believe, is one of the dogs that is in this book as you read. Chapter 5, 737. Heidi settled nervously into the back seat as the car pulled away onto the airport road. She never saw the renegade dachshund behind her on the tarmac leap into the cab of the electric airport cart and accidentally hit the accelerator with his bottom. The little vehicle lurched forward and bounced below the belly of a parked airplane and on toward the runway. A dozen airport people chased the cart. A huge sign attached to its bumper read, "Follow me." The dog wasn't actually steering, of course. But to his surprise, he found himself moving quickly away from Mrs. Nutbush. Sorry, that was Mrs. Nutbush, not Mrs. Beaglehole. Mrs. Nutbush, who was still flattened under the men on the tarmac. He kept his bottom pressed against the accelerator pedal and presumed, like a dog caught shredding and eating a designer sofa, that everything was going to be fine. The Follow Me vehicle entered the main runway from the side and directly across the path of a taxiing 737 airliner that had just landed from Dubuque. The little truck continued east across the grass toward the highway. The plane turned in the same direction and obediently followed close behind. So are you guys catching what's happening here?
No.
Get off of that, please. So here's the little wiener dog. He escaped because, remember, Heidi lifted the latch and let him out. The dog licked her on her nose. And the dog takes off. Mrs. Nutbush goes chasing the dog. She gets tackled by airport security. Meanwhile, the dog jumps into one of those little mini airport cars that they have out at airports on the tarmac, like the runways and stuff. Yep. Except this one has a sign on the back that says, "Follow me." And here the dog is sitting obliviously. You can see it on page 29. He's sitting on the airport cart, and he happens to be sitting on the gas pedal, so the car is moving, and the dog's just enjoying his time there. Except because this car says, "Follow me" on it, now an airplane that just landed sees it, and that airplane is about to follow the dog.
Oh. Whoa! He's going running into a street.
The Follow Me vehicle entered the main runway from the side and directly across the path of a taxiing 737 airliner that had just landed from Dubuque. The little truck continued east across the grass toward the highway. The plane turned in the same direction and obediently followed close behind. Meanwhile, Heidi sat unhappily in the back of the huge car moving down the airport perimeter road while Mrs. Beaglehole drove. "Dear, sweet Heidi," the woman said, "we should probably discuss something before you see your uncle. The wonderful ladies of St. Egregius mentioned some problems that you had been involved with." Heidi said nothing. Word must have gotten out about the flush reversals she had arranged for the nuns' bathroom. She stared at the back of the car seats. Little golden retrievers were carved into the leather. What's a flush reversal? Think about what happens when you flush a toilet. The water goes down.
And
So a flush reversal would be water that goes up. So let me read that again. Word must have gotten out that the flush reversals she had arranged for the nuns' bathrooms. So the nuns are going to the bathroom and the water goes up instead of down.
Oh, no, it's hitting them in the butt.
It's hitting them in the butt. She stared at the back of the car seats. Little golden retrievers were carved into the leather. "Your Uncle Hamish's spirit isn't terribly well, dear. We'd hate for any unnecessary stress to enter his life right now." Heidi looked out the window as the car moved away from the airport. She saw people on the sidewalk pointing back down the road behind them. Heidi twisted around in her seat and looked out the rear window. The little electric airport cart swerved close behind their bumper, the dachshund's face peeking out over the hood. Close behind the Follow Me cart rolled a 737 airliner and its obedient pilots moving down the country road. Mrs. Beaglehole stared straight ahead in the front seat and continued, Heidi, I'll just ask you straight out. Can we expect any problems ahead? Heidi stared behind her as the airliner's wings knocked down power poles lining the road 20 yards back, sending sparks flying and exploding small transformer box. No, she said. On the weaving, bouncing electric cart, the dog spotted the girl peering at him through the car's rear window ahead of him. Amidst a troublesome day where nothing made sense, the girl's face was a lifeboat of familiarity. He leaped from the electric cart's accelerator pedal, stopping it cold. The airliner behind it slammed on its brakes in front of a Piggly Wiggly grocery store, which the passengers decided was the Piddleton Airport baggage claim. The dachshund streaked up alongside Heidi's car, leaped onto the running board, and scrambled up the rear door, through the open window, and into Heidi's open travel bag tucked next to her leg. Panting hard, he looked up at the startled girl and simply said, I love French fries.
What? That only don't make sense with this thing.
What doesn't make sense about that?
I love French fries. No.
If it's in italics, is the dog really saying that?
No.
No, what did the dog most likely say?
Barking.
But where did he get the French fries from? Do you remember the last time we read?
When he was running and he was getting chased and he ran on top of the man's head and he was eating French fries.
He snatched a French fry out of the guy who was eating fries, and the dog ate one. He's like, I love French fries.
I would be like,
Mason, can you get the door, please? He honestly couldn't think of anything less stupid to say, but he thought something honest was called for. It was a pity that girls don't speak dog. Heidi looked down in mute amazement. Then, with a single finger, Heidi silently pushed the dachshund's muzzle into the bag and zipped it up.
okay, wait a minute. Sit, snort.
Chapter 6, Snort. I'm going to stop there. We'll